The United Nations is not one singular body, but is actually composed of many different parts, which are called organs. The United Nations has 6 major organs: the General Assembly, the Security Council, the Economic and Social Council, the Trusteeship Council, the International Court of Justice, and the Secretariat. Each of these organs has a specific function and focuses on a particular set of challenges or problems. The General Assembly of the United Nations is so called because it has representation from every single member state. This means that the General Assembly has 193 member countries. It also has representation from a few non-government organizations as well as from observer states like Palestine. Observer states are states which may participate in UN proceedings, but only in a limited manner and aren't allowed to vote on resolutions. The General Assembly is in many ways the main organ of the UN and has the final say on most matters, including the voting of the Secretary General and the adoption of the budget. Apart from this, the General Assembly deals with matters that affect most of the world, like those of climate change, gender equality, disarmament, and socio-economic development. The General Assembly, like most of the UN, can't actually dictate countries on what to do, but serves as a forum for countries to resolve their issues amicably. The Security Council deals with the highest matters of international security. It attempts to resolve international conflicts, combat global terrorism, and prevent atrocities like genocide. Unlike the General Assembly, the Security Council has only 15 members. Of these, 5 countries are permanent members, which means that they are always on the Council, while the other 10 are non-permanent members and have a membership of only 2 years. The 5 permanent members are the United States, the United Kingdom, France, Russia, and China. Each of the permanent 5 members have the power of veto, by which they can make any resolution fail with just a single vote. This means that any actions undertaken by the Security Council must be approved by all 5 permanent members. Security Council resolutions are special in that countries are forced to accept the terms of the resolution, unlike any other resolution in the UN. If a country fails to comply with a Security Council resolution, then the Council may take actions to ensure its compliance through diplomatic tools like trade sanctions or even full-scale military invasion. The Security Council also has the power to summon the United Nations Peacekeeping Forces, which is a peacekeeping force comprised of volunteers from the members of the UN and can include soldiers, policemen, and civilians. The Economic and Social Council is responsible for dealing with social and economic issues, as well as for coordinating the work of specialized agencies that work with the United Nations. Each of these deals with a very specific problem area, like that of climate change, gender equality, humanitarian aid, or economic development. The Trusteeship Council was established to ensure that certain countries or regions, called trust territories, were administered in the best interests of their people and in keeping with international peace and security. Trust territories are essentially territories that were transferred to the winners of World War I and were administered by those countries, almost like colonies. However, the Trusteeship Council ended operations in 1994 when Palau became a part of the United Nations. Today, the Trusteeship Council is a defunct organ, meaning that it doesn't have any function anymore and only exists on paper. Located in The Hague, Netherlands, the International Court of Justice is the supreme judicial body of the United Nations. It acts as an international court to resolve disputes between countries and to advise the UN and its bodies on legal matters. The International Court of Justice comprises of 15 judges who are elected by the General Assembly and the Security Council and who serve 9-year terms. The Secretariat handles all of the official and administrative work of the United Nations. It is headed by the Secretary General, the post of which is currently held by Mr. Antonio Guterres. The Secretariat has many different functions. Not only does it commission political and economic analysis reports, research, surveys, and assessments, but it also communicates with the media and other bodies and is responsible for publishing all international agreements and treaties.